This is Kieran Spooner, ETower News, 1st of November 2010. Hello and welcome to our first newsreel. ETower News is the UK's first vintage news team. We will be seeking out all manner of social events, bands, venues and boutiques, so you will have no need to miss out on any of these glorious treats. There will also be features on fashion and etiquette, so that you can join in and still be at your ease. The events we will be covering range from roaring nights and daytime distractions to tea dances, fairs and rallies. If you want to dance all night, listen to some wonderful music, prop up the bar or simply chat over tea and scones, as long as you're dressed to impress, we will be aiming to find something for you and perhaps interview you for our next newsreel. Being a social news team, we value your tips. Have you been invited to or are perhaps hosting a vintage party? Let us know and our completely vintage outside broadcast team may arrange a visit. Normally the first part of the show will be footage of recent events. As we begin, we don't have any footage of last month's events to share with you. In a moment I'll run through what lies ahead in November. But first I would like to explain a little about me. I've been trying to recall just how I've arrived here. A few years ago I decided that a trilby would be a nice addition to my look. At the time I was just playing with my image. This, combined with my taste in suits, led me to attend a speakeasy. Finding that all I would need, in addition to my wardrobe, would be a pair of spats, that was quite handy. A fine time was had by all there, and soon I found myself putting together other vintage outfits and starting to enjoy this new social life. If one wants to visit events connected with World War II, it's fairly easy to find them. There is a thriving reenactment scene if digging trenches and gun oil is your calling. The social side of the World War II era is enchanting, and I have no doubt we will be visiting some of these events. The interwar period is far less well catered for, yet in many ways a more interesting time, and for myself a time when polite society was still prevalent. I must admit I have now been bitten by the dancing bug. As many of the events enable social dancing, it was only going to be a matter of time before I tried it. Having been given vintage quest leader role by my friends, it soon became apparent that there is no focal point for connecting with these people. Some of the dancers I have talked to are learning to dance but have no social vent for their new skills outside events highlighted to them in class. There are also a fair number of events labelled as vintage, retro and steampunk where the non-dancers relax and enjoy, leaving behind modern life for a few hours at least. So we hope ETower will be able to bring together the dancers, non-dancers, promoters, bands, vendors and clubs to help you all make the most of your vintage time and effort. Hi, well, really now I should introduce you to Les, my cameraman. I think you're going to have to come sit over here, Les.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. Sorry about this.
Hi, I'm Les.
So, Les, how long have you been into vintage clothing then?
Well, really, it's mostly been over the last, say, year, 2 years when I've really been into it. I've always had a passion for a cravat and a nice suit or a nice tie or a nice shirt, but that was more when I was in the business times, and it sort of seemed to fit in with business and you could look dapper for business. But in my personal life, up until about a year and a half ago, I'd say I was more of a hippie.
That's quite a change then.
Yeah, long hair down to here, comfortable clothes. But then I thought that I wanted to make the effort and put on clothes, not just for work, not just for an interview, just for me, for my family. The more respect you take in your own appearance, the more respect you get off other people.
So you've opted for cameraman in this venture. How's it feeling out there in front of the lens?
Scary. See, the reason I pick cameraman is, you see, it's different. If I'm at an event and I'm in the atmosphere, then I'm fully confident. But take me out of that and, you know, put me somewhere. If I've got the right clothes on, I feel confident. But you put me in normal street clothes and shove something in front of me, I'd just go and hide away, I think. I think it's half that kind of... Well,
so you're proper messed up in the head then?
Yeah,
that's what you're telling us?
Yeah, yeah. put a hat and clothes on me, and hat and a nice shirt, and I can talk to anybody, leave me as normal, and I just ignore people.
Right. So you are very much running under clothes maketh the man?
Yes.
Yes.
I would say so. Well, I hate to say it, but first impressions still count nowadays as much as they did, I'd say, 50, 60 years ago. And we're just wearing this, which is just a jacket, a dicky bow, and a shirt, and my hat. Everyone seems to stare. I dress like a gentleman, I act like a gentleman, therefore I am a gentleman. And there's nothing wrong with being a gentleman.
You're going for dancing lessons?
Yeah. Well, that's another thing, it's weird, because I mean, I've always wanted to dance. What's the use of going to a dinner dance if I can't actually dance or music?
Well, yes. That's what got me started.
And you know,
yeah.
and I'm getting older, so I need to probably be a bit fitter. And this should be a good measure of how fit I am.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I guess there you go, everybody. He's a cameraman because he felt like it.
Yeah,
We find with many of the dance organisations that they have certain start points. So although we're not going to be trying to list them all out within the upcoming events section, because obviously that would just take us hours. But certainly when we're aware of when a dance class is starting, we'll let you know, because obviously you want to get in right at the beginning so that you can feel comfortable with it. So, saying that, Sussex Swing are starting a new class in Raleigh Hall, which is right by Hove Station, on a Thursday evening. 8 PM to 9 PM is Lindy Hop for beginners. 9 PM is Balboa, all levels. These are both swing style dances, so hopefully they should be fitting in with just what you're wearing. 10 to 11 there's a freestyle practice time, so obviously they've got the hall book till then. And that's £7, being in Hove. It's yes, a little bit pricey on the rent, I'm told, so it's not a cheap one, that, but certainly well worth attending.